you can never get a drink to yourself. You know, it's always got a kitty paw or a piece of dog hair or whatever in your drink. And I'm thinking that is the best way to prepare for being a mother. Because guess what? You never get another drink by yourself. Ever.
Ugh.
And you will have to label your own food.
What are the pros again? This all seems like a bad idea.
I know, it does, doesn't it?
Ugh.
Well, the pros are that maybe when you're old, they'll take care of you.
You don't have to live in a nursing home.
Yes. Or
Hey,
either
I
they'll
think
pay
I
for
would-
that nursing home placement.
I would kill that. That nursing home would be my little...
Yeah. So, yeah.
Anyways.
I'll tell you, it's worth it. It's worth it. I mean, I remember like having dinner, or we would be leaving like the restaurant, and I would look, and I'd have eaten like half of my plate for the main reason I want the leftovers the next day. I don't like sandwiches. And my daughter and son-in-law both have told me that they're not quite happy with the fact that I didn't make my kids eat sandwiches. I mean, Weston,
He eats them now.
he does now, thank God.
Because I trained him to shut up and eat that sandwich.
That's right. You're like, you're eating this peanut butter, honey.
Oh, my God.
That's all you're getting. But yeah, we'd be going
Yeah.
out, and I would be saying, yeah, I'd like a to-go box or whatever. And I would look at Weston and Carrot, and I'd say, this is my leftovers for tomorrow. Do not eat my leftovers when I go to bed tonight, because I'm telling you, if there is a carry-out box in that refrigerator after you hit the sack, that Weston Gillespie is going to make that his woman that night, because he is going to tear it up. So I had to like label things. Moms only.
Do not
touch.
Yeah, that was a problem in our house as well.
Was it? Oh, God, I bet so.
I think that's a problem with every family, because you're hungry at like 2 a.m. and you're like, if I eat this, they might be mad, but at the end of the day, they'll still love me. They have to.
Exactly, they have to. It's true. It's true. Yeah, okay, so in your family, who was the biggest thief of the leftovers?
You're looking at her.
But my question is, did your mother want to fight you over the leftovers?
Honestly, no, because my mom eats like spinach for breakfast. So
Yes, she does.
I didn't want anything she was eating. And also, we didn't like my parents. Well, we were pretty broke for a lot of the time, but I mean, even like later when we became more financially comfortable, like we never went out to eat, so we didn't really have leftovers. But like dinner leftovers, if there was like a little bit left.
That was you. You would stay.
on that.
I bet you would purposefully stay up late until everybody went to bed so you can tear up that leftovers.
Everyone's in bed. I'm going down and rifling through the pantry in peace.
Yes. Go to
my
bed. The
God.
next morning, I'm like, oh my word, there has been a bulimic on a binge in this house. There's like 15 cracker packets. If we had like anything sweet, like a little Debbie cake, little packets everywhere. Yeah. But I fought for my leftovers. I fought
I
my
bet
children.
You did. And
Yeah. 100%. Those were my leftovers.
He's awake again.
He
The baby's
is.
awake.
The
As in
baby's awake.
Psycho dog that I have.
Don't you wish you could like strap him into one of those little baby bouncers? You
Yeah,
know,
I
where you
do.
see the moms that are like, they're maybe working at their computer, but they've got that one foot over there just rocking that little baby bouncer back and forth. That's what we need for him.
I know. A lot of people in this neighborhood will like tie their dogs up outside. I'm like, first of all, it's
Yeah.
hot as heck. And second of all,
Yes.
that's terrible.
Yes.
I have a working breed dog, so I cannot do that.
Yeah. Alrighty. So should we get down to some good news today?
Well, after we introduce ourselves.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, I know. I forget too. It's okay. Welcome, everybody, to the Generational Tea Podcast. I'm Kana.
And I'm Ronnie, and we are so glad that you guys have joined us today. Today we're going to do something new,
A little different.
a
Yeah.
little different. We've not done this before, but
Yeah, we feel like, it's been a rough year. I think everyone could use some good news. And I think a lot of us go around with like this negativity bias. I know I do, where it's really easy for me to just see all the negative things and not all the positive things instead. We just wanted to come to you today. We each broke off separately, and we found some good news stories and some inspirational and uplifting things. We just want to have a little short, cute episode today, make you feel good. So
yes,
we hope it accomplishes that goal. So yeah.
Yes.
All right. Are we ready for story number 1?
Yes. Who's going first? You go first. Yes.
I go first. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We're weird today. Okay.
We are in rare form.
All right. So the first story I found that I thought was really cool and wanted to share was about a lottery winner. And it actually went to a person that really needed it. So a homeless man who had been living on the streets in San Luis, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. San Luis Obispo? That doesn't feel right. City in California.
Okay, yeah. Let's do a city in California.
So this homeless man who I think had been homeless for years actually ended up winning a $1 million scratch off. And a little bit about him. We don't know his name. He didn't want to share it. But he was a longtime patron of Sandy's liquor store, where he actually ended up buying the ticket, and they got some information on him just from the store manager. So the store manager there called this homeless man a very loyal, trustworthy customer and a good person who really deserved this big winning. So the manager would even trust this guy to watch the store when he was like restocking items or had to step out a second. He even offered this guy a job at one point, but the lottery winner had to end up declining because he had a bad knee that would prevent him from doing necessary manual labor for the job. So it's amazing that someone who was unable to work ended up getting something when they really needed it the most. And the manager said that the homeless man planned to buy a home, a car, and invest the rest. Oh. And I just thought that was a really cool story. And
that is so cool.
Yeah. He needed it. So he got his life changed.
He got it. He got it. Wow. That's awesome. This good news story I thought was so appropriate because we know that Kana is our little bookworm. And so,
oh yeah,
yes, she's like, where's this going? So there was a Michigan community, a small little bookstore in Michigan, in a little small community, and they were moving storefronts. And so instead of like a typical move, you have people come in, you pack it up, you get a moving truck, you load everything up, or you have people do that, and then you move to your other place. Well, instead of doing that, they did something very unconventional, and I just think it's so cool. What they did is they created a human chain, because it's a very small town, so it wasn't very far that the bookstore, it was several blocks it needed to move. They had 9,100 books that they needed to move. So this group of people, over 300 people, they stood side by side and made like a chain all the way from the previous location to the new location. And they all just stood in line side by side, and they passed the books. And they were able to move this entire bookstore of 9,100 books through this human chain. They saved a ton of money. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. I always love stories of like large groups of people come together when like really nothing benefits them necessarily. Like you're not getting paid, like whatever it is. But that is really cool. Yeah, I love that.
That was cool.
That small town living coming in handy.
Yes.
Tell myself that.
Yeah, go ahead, because you are in a small town now, girl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, next story I have. Well, I was thinking that this episode would release in April still, but it's not going to, because I was thinking autism awareness. But regardless, anyways, so we're going to talk about Maureen Stanko, and I'm going to try not to make fun of her last name. I'm sorry.
What's Stanko?
Yeah.
Like Stanko? God.
We're good people. We're just immature. I wonder if she knows about the stanky leg. Okay. Okay. Anyways, this sweet, lovely lady Marie. So she is actually the mother of an autistic child, and she lives in a town in Pennsylvania. And she opened the So Much to Give inclusive cafe in the town of Cedars because it would keep her awake at night thinking of life after graduation for her 20-year-old autistic son. And she ended up opening this in January 2023. So this cafe now employs 63 people, 80% of which have a disability, and they work as greeters, food runners, sous chefs, dishwashers, and servers. And Maureen says she has observed significant growth in her son's social skills and other employees' confidence and abilities. So that's just really awesome. And I think the story of how it came about was really cool as well. Maureen actually brought these concerns she was having about her son to his therapist, and the therapist ended up being the one that bankrolled the cafe because he actually had a dream of opening a restaurant exactly like that. So that was kind of like divine timing. It just all worked out so well, and now it's like a staple in the community, and just it's awesome. I love it.
I would want to eat there all the time.
I'd want to go there for sure. Yeah.
Yes. Talking
so
about
cool.
positive vibes. Totally positive vibes. There are a few cats in there, and you have the ultimate cafe.
I want to go to a cat cafe so bad.
Yes.
It's actually a crime that I haven't been to one yet.
I think you're actually making one yourself.
Oh, great.
A cat cafe with a resident dog. This was a good one too here. The title of it was Chef Leaves Job at Top Restaurant to Provide Delicious Food for Hospice Patients in Their Last Days. He does this to honor his son who died of leukemia.
Oh.
And the hospice that cared for him. So he was personally touched. Now this guy, his last name's Smith, he once cooked for, you want to guess somebody really, really, really famous that this guy cooked
Can I have
for?
a hint? Like,
It's not in the
give me
United
his
States
career.
of America.
It's like an actor?
Something that you're born into. You can only have this title if you have...
Royalty?
Go ahead.
I don't know any of the royal family.
Okay. Queen Elizabeth
Meghan Markle.
II. Oh, Lord. Oh,
I played the
Lord. No, Queen Elizabeth II. He used to cook for her. And
Nice.
he just said, you learn to live with losing a child. You learn to live with it, but it changes your perspective. And without a doubt, he'd worked at top restaurants around the world, but decided he wanted to serve a different clientele. And so he went and he started serving at the hospice care center that his son was at during his last days. And it was called St. Catherine's. So that is so cool. That is so cool.
Dang,
Yeah.
that's like, it's sad, but it's really cool that he ended up dedicating his skills to that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And in your grief, I think so much of grief, other than obviously the loss, is the powerlessness of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially, I mean,
can't
the most
imagine.
unnatural thing that you could ever do is bury a child, a parent burying a child. And so how cool. He took this and decided, I don't have to be a victim. I'm going to get in here and be victorious, and I'm going to serve these people and pass it on. So he's
make a
paying that
difference where he
forward
can.
in a big time way. Yep.
Nice. That's a cool one. All right. We're going to talk next about the goodest boy ever.
The goodest boy ever. Is his name Sawyer Gillespie?
No, he's the baddest boy. We're going to talk about a different dog who's a hero.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Buford, and he's a 6-year-old Anatolian Pyrenees? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pyrenees.
So he wandered home on a random Tuesday with a 2-year-old boy who disappeared the day before from his home in Seligman, Arizona. This story's pretty crazy. More to it. The owner's ranch is 7 miles away from the boy's home. Dozens of search and rescue people spent an entire night searching for this little toddler in pretty dangerous Arizonian desert terrain.
Yeah.
So Buford, this breed, is the type that will sleep all day, and then they usually patrol a ranch or property at night to keep coyotes away and protect the livestock. This dog actually tracked this child's footprints for a mile and brought him back to his owner the next morning.
Did he go on this? Was he charged to do this?
No, he was just
he
patrolling
just-
the ranch at night, and he ended up tracking this little boy that was wandering out in the desert.
Wow.
And yeah, the owner said he was outside in the morning and he had seen the news stories of the missing boy, and he saw his dog and he saw this little kid beside him, and he was like, oh my God, that's the same boy.
Oh my
And
goodness.
the best part is Buford, that dog, he was treated to a 2-pound ribeye for just being the cutest, goodest boy ever.
Oh yes, for sure.
He deserved that.
Oh my gosh,
steak. Ribeyes
He
for
should have
life
gotten
for him.
ribeyes for life. Yes, yes, he should have gotten that reward. Hey, he did it so quickly they didn't even have to put out that there was a special reward. He didn't even know he was going to get that big old ribeye.
I know.
He did
He's
it.
a good boy.
I love that. He did that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's another one. This one's hits close to home. So you guys know Michael Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been opening health clinics in North Carolina to help with difficulties from Helene, things that had been closed down.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he started this life-changing initiative in 2019 with opening of 2 clinics in Charlotte. And they were, to service the less fortunate, those that aren't insured or underinsured. And so on February 19th, he opened his 4th facility also in North Carolina, in Wilmington, North Carolina. And he did this one with a $10 million donation.
Wow.
So
Nice. That's
be
very
like
generous.
Mike. Be like Mike and be generous.
Yeah. Even if you don't have $10 million.
Right.
You can still give what you have to give, and it'll make a difference.
Yep. And
For
he
sure.
says his mantra is that every human deserves access to quality health care, regardless of their location or insurance status.
Mm-hmm.
So I love
Yes,
that.
they do.
Go,
It was
Mike.
awesome. Go, Mike.
Yes.
You do, you boo. All right. My next story. It's a really good one. It's very heartwarming. This story is called The Tip of a Lifetime. So Tammy Conzier, I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but we're going to go with it. She's a Pittsburgh area esthetician and a TikToker. So she was grabbing a bite with her son at a local restaurant when she noticed her server struggling to get around. So the server, being 81 years old, was actually confiding to another patron, and Tammy overheard this, that she has chronic back pain, but needed the job because her $910 Social Security payout wasn't enough to cover her bills. Mm-hmm. Tammy, being the amazing person she is, used the power of TikTok and used this platform to highlight Betty, the server. And Betty said this: I worked all my life as a waitress and can't retire. I'm 81, but I can still outdo all these whippersnappers.
I love that. I love
Betty's
that.
awesome.
But Betty and the Jets. I wonder if that's who's talking about.
It's Benny in the Jets, not Betty.
Oh, okay. Let's.
Well, that's
yeah.
embarrassing for you. I'm not cutting that out.
Yes. Yes. Oh well.
Anyways, okay.
You can't get it all. You can't have it all. You cannot be beautiful. You cannot be perfect.
Yep,
Something's
you
got to
gotta
go.
be dumb sometimes.
You got to be dumb. You got to just be real ridiculous.
It's
And
true,
I am
but-
good with that. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Okay. Using her TikTok platform, she shared Betty's story on TikTok, and it went viral within 24 hours. And over a short amount of time, her GoFundMe that Tammy helped set up has raised a whopping $328,000. And Betty has been able to retire finally.
Yay!
But I just really love this story because, well, I'm actually a big proponent of TikTok. I spent years hating it, but I think as a social media platform, its algorithms are great, and I've seen so many positive things like this happen on TikTok. And
Yeah.
I think it's just a good example how any of us can be out on any random day, look at another human being, and through a simple, selfless act, change their lives. Or even if it's not on such a grand scale, like you can do something that'll maybe help someone out in a major way, or just a little small change or a little dose of hope that they needed. So
Yeah.
I just love that story. I thought that was so cool. And I saw the videos of Betty. She's precious.
Go Betty. Yay.
You enjoy that retirement, girl.
Yes. Yes, you enjoy that. Well, I told you I only had 3 good stories. But I
Let's
actually have
see.
4.
Oh.
The last one that I
Okay.
have on my list. And I just let's just not read anything into it, but let's just celebrate that it's finally on the radar. This past week, the National Institutes of Health for the United States of America has come together, and they are raging war against food dyes. And there's 6 food dyes that are going to have to be out of our country by 2026, sometime in 2026. But I thought this was so interesting because being a nurse and then doing a lot of holistic health things, you really can see how much these food dyes contribute to behavioral issues or memory, just different things like that, or just chronic illness. And so when looking at this, I was like, man, that's awesome that we're going to start doing this. But then I went back and I'm like, there are so many countries that already have these bans. In fact, there are countries. So let's just start off: Norway, Finland, Germany, France, Switzerland, the UK, the European Union. So we are finally going to do something, and no longer.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Hopefully what?
I just said hopefully it doesn't stop at the food dyes, because I know there's a lot of stuff that's in all kinds of our food that's banned in other countries. It's
plastic.
Crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. So I'm glad that at least some of it's on the radar and we're looking at it, because there are manufacturers of, let's just say General Mills or some kind of cereal company, and they tried to do this at one time. I think it was a cereal company started to use like beet juice to make colors.
Dye?
Yes.
Okay.
Beet juice, carrot juice for orange, that kind of thing. Yeah. Well, people didn't want it. It wasn't as bright. It wasn't as pretty. But these companies,
about how it looks.
Yes, these companies make a different product for us than the one they export to all these other countries. So I hope we're going to take this back and take our health back. I mean, even cosmetics and stuff. There's so much.
I know. It makes me anxious. Because I'm like, I'm buying something in the back of my head. I'm like, what if this is like poisoning me? Because I know that we don't regulate stuff the way it needs to be regulated. Well, and it's stressful.
It's very stressful. And, having behavior issues or like attention deficit and seeing so many people now as adults that are really still struggling with attention deficit is really, it's paralyzing. So many times these newly married people, they get together, they don't even know that much about each other. And maybe it's something that kids think, oh, well, I've outgrown that. But then sometimes when you go back into a more structured situation, like a job or something, that you're learning something new and such, all those things, these little issues raise their head back up. And so I know it's a big thing as far as even in marriages, younger marriages, is how do you deal with an adult with ADD? So I'm hoping that this is going to help a lot with that.
Definitely.
When you were talking about feeling anxious about what you're buying, thinking it's healthy, but it may not be, I had overheard someone talking about that, like deli ham. Okay. Like if you get a ham, deli sliced ham for sandwiches, that its natural look is grayish brown in color.
Ooh.
And ours is pink because they've loaded it up with dye. Is that not crazy? And there's a lot of Finns that live in this area in upstate South Carolina. And they were talking about, you go to Finland and the food looks so boring and all this stuff because they do serve the brown and gray ham and different things like that. And she said this one couple had just gotten back from there over the holidays, and they were just talking about, it was the best food we've ever tasted.
Wow.
The food is delicious. It looks terrible. It looks bland. It doesn't look like, because it's just like we've trained ourselves. Well, we've been conditioned to look for things that are bright and pretty. And as soon as we grab that piece of ham, and if it's got any of those grayer colors, immediately it's like, throw that out.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
So not only are we being poisoned, but we're being robbed of flavor.
Yes,
Ugh.
for sure. So,
I'm mad.
yay, go US of A in a time
we'll focus
with
on that win.
Yes.
Don't stop there.
Right.
Please.
Keep going.
Oh, God. Okay, well, my last good news story is actually about free tuition at a college. So, in Oregon, Reed College announced a groundbreaking new initiative that will make education more accessible to Oregon and Washington students. As of December 2024, Reed will offer tuition-free education for newly admitted Oregon, Washington, and transfer undergrad students whose family income is under $100K annually. This is a big move. And
Yes, it is.
For how expensive college is nowadays, this move eliminates financial barriers from talented students who want to pursue their dreams at a top liberal arts college. And I just wanted to include some stats in there as well. So, especially like this is generational T, and I think my generation struggles with affordable education more than your generation had. So, for anyone that's listening that maybe doesn't realize how different things are now, just want to give you some stats. So the U.S. student loan debt exceeds $1.7 trillion, with the average debt around $38,000 per student. And many low-income students struggle to afford the cost of even community college, with some unable to afford 95% of colleges, which sucks because it's the way it's going. Education is turning into a privilege, and it's something that should be accessible to everybody, in my own opinion. And I even have student debt. My husband struggles with student debt. My sister struggles with student debt. Like it feels paralyzing, honestly, and it makes me regret even going to college, being how bad it is. And I mean, things are expensive nowadays. It sucks. So that made me just think this story is really cool, that someone is making a move to make education affordable for the people that are unable to access it.
I love
Hop
that.
off my soapbox, but yeah.
That is huge. Well, not sure where you guys are all listening from, but we'll definitely tell you that Western North Carolina, or just all of North Carolina, tuitions are really, really affordable. In fact, Weston was able to go to a state-supported school, App State, because we're residents. We actually had a home in Boone. He was able to go per semester for $3,500.
Yeah, that's not
and
bad.
that was full time. And it's cheaper. It was cheaper for him to go there than it was for him to go to our local technical college here in South Carolina. If you're looking for places that have more affordable education, North Carolina may be one for you. And there's also Western North Carolina. It's called Western Carolina University, that they are now, their tuition rates, $500 per semester for in-state undergraduate and $2,500 per semester for out-of-state undergraduate.
Okay, that's not bad. I still think it should be free, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'll die on that hill, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Not for a while, at least.
Okay. Tuition itself, based on 24 and 25, is in-state at Western Carolina University is $1,000 for tuition. Out-of-state is $5,000. So it's not bad. Yeah. And of course, that doesn't include like housing, and we know there's a lot that goes into total cost. But it's crazy how expensive it is to getting.
It's a shame.
It is really.
But
it's
anyways,
shameful.
let's stay on good vibes.
Yes,
we'll try.
Yes.
Well, we hope that our little good news stories that we rounded up for you guys made your day, hopefully, or just gave you a little dose of hope in a year that's been difficult for a lot of us. So hang in there. We see you. You're heard. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
We're here for you. I think if anyone ever needs to talk to us, DM us, message us.
Yeah.
We love to hear from you guys, whether that's if you need to connect to someone and talk to someone, or if you just want to share what you thought about our episodes. Share maybe if you have a good news story, something that happened in your life or something that you heard. We want to hear it too. So talk to us at Generational Tea Pod. That's our social media. We are on TikTok and Instagram. While we're on that note, we would really appreciate if you guys leave us a review before you go today. We haven't gotten a ton so far, and it will help us boost our podcast to get out to more people. So go ahead, leave us a review, leave us a comment. Every little thing makes our day, and we really appreciate you guys doing that work for us.
Yeah, and thanks for spending this little bit of time with us.
Yes.
And what do we do now?
That's
the tea. All righty. Bye, y'all.
Bye.